Hello and welcome everyone to Last of Us. I'm Mr. Black, and I've once again returned to Survarium, which recently received yet another update, and having already checked it out extensively, I am immensely impressed. I have a few small misgivings with it, however there is much more right with it than wrong. I suppose most visible amongst the new content is the revision made to the visuals, completely overhauling the game's lighting, shaders, and overall visual quality, significantly improving its performance optimization. And while I was at first less than thrilled with how washed out it can make everything look, a quick adjustment to the gamma down to 0.83 for the curious cleared it right up and restored the colors to their former richness and contrast while maintaining the crisp new look. Several other new additions to the game include a new London map, which I've yet to play on very extensively, achievements, which sadly don't seem to count retroactively, save for those to do with character level or faction rank, a kill cam replay, which I'll come clean, I'm not even a little at all fond of, however, it's here. As are a hefty number of new weapons and equipment, thankfully, and most of which are non-premium at that, as well as a server region selection drop-down added to the matchmaker menu. Thank you, spasibo, Vostok! Which has dramatically revamped the connectivity of the game and one's options for match connections, allowing one to set one's preferences for connection via separate regions, specific regions, or just checking all of them if one's more concerned with simply finding a match than necessarily having the lowest ping possible. And speaking of the matchmaker, it's finally fixed! Praise Monolith! The new matchmaker actually seems quicker than previous iterations, which is also nice, and more importantly, it no longer continues expanding its gear level search range every few seconds when trying to find a match. No more Sweatermen versus walking tanks armed with Dragonovs and AS-Vals. No SVDs through sweaters anymore. It now caps out at just a couple levels in either direction of one's own, and rather than reaching farther out as time progresses, starts narrowing the number of players needed for a match as necessary as the time goes on. Much improved over previous versions. I cannot stress that enough. Now, the last of the significant additions to the game is, of course, the workshop. I'm still not entirely sure what to make of it, however, the short of it is this. One no longer needs duplicates of the same items to upgrade and modify gear. Instead, one can now use varying amounts of a new sort of currency, spare parts, or details as they're called for some reason in some menus, along with the usual fee of in-game silver to upgrade one's gear with the same sorts of modifications as previous versions. No attachments yet, however, I've received assurances that it's coming. As one can acquire parts via dismantling existing gear, a rather expensive waste I've come to find, or receiving stacks of parts at the ends of rounds, which is how I've received all of mine so far, I've already accrued a pretty nice stash of them already, and that's having already used a few hundred to further upgrade my weapons. Cosmetics are now also handled through the Workshop tab, and like I mentioned, since I'm not entirely clear on the exact details of the new Workshop system, that's all I can really say regarding it at this stage. However, I've no complaints specifically about it. Now, all of that out of the way, as you can see, I've recently acquired one of the new weapons added to the game, the Valmet, as well as some shiny new armor, and I intend to run her through her paces for the remainder of the episode. I am eager to test my K.62 in the zone. And I think this is a good combat location for it, as it affords a certain element of close quarters combat amenable to such a weapon. Alright. And what the? Oh, hi there. Oh, I like. I'm not so fond, however, of the rounds in the skull. Such is life in the zone, however. I like that sight pattern, and it seems as though the recoil is actually very controllable, so... Valmet, whoop! K.62 is a win for me. Ooh. Alright, kind of a sexy reload animation, too, not gonna lie. Ow. Does it say something about me that I find reload animation sexy? It probably says something about me. Worth it. All kinds of worth it. Not even gonna regret that statement. Not a little. Alright. Let's see. Oh, I see you up there. Alright. I like that sight, because it kind of takes some of my favorite parts, ow, of a ring sight and a notch sight and combines them. Alright, am I good? Am I good? Alright, I'm good. I'm gonna make you not so good. Getcha. Alright, and it seems on par with the AKM in terms of punishing power. Ow! And speaking of punishing, that was a nice shot. That's also a Valmet. Alrighty then. So, as I mentioned, I am very fond of the new visual revisions. And while at first it seemed as though it lowered a lot of contrast and made a lot of things look sort of desaturated, adjusting the gamma did all kinds of good for remedying that issue. As you can see now, things look nice and rich and saturated, and it increases contrast to lower gamma such that target acquisition now actually seems a little easier. Can I make it? Can I make it through the window? Can I make it through the window? Yes! Haha! I shot the one and caught the other in the grenade. I am very happy with that. Alright, I feel like a real stalker. Ah! Alright. I was overexcited. Forgot to stay mobile. Alright, these things happen. And one other aspect of this recent update that I can't say will translate very well into the recording, however, I'll ask you to kind of take my word for it, is that I'm unsure as to what did it. The responsiveness of this game is so vastly improved that it is nigh unrecognizable to my muscle memory of the controls. I actually had to kind of relearn how to play the game after the recent update, as there's no longer that slight sluggishness and unresponsiveness to the controls. The controls actually, like, they act, they respond, they do things when I tell them to. It simply adds so much more ease of playability to the experience that it completely revitalized my interest in even playing, because I had started to get a little nervous, if I may reveal a little honesty, for Survarium's future, like where it was heading, as it was still a little sluggish as compared to many competitive FPS titles, and I was starting to wonder about the stability, and this recent update rectified almost all of my concerns. The only thing I am unhappy about with it, aside from nostalgically missing the old Mosin sound, as a lot of the sound effects were also revamped, the addition of the kill cam, I simply am not a fan of, I disagree with, and I just got sniped. I got greedy. I was attempting to rush that guy so I could melee him to death, and out of 700 to the lungs. These are unfortunate repercussions for getting ahead of oneself in the zone. Alright then. So, again, I'm not sure how well, I'm not even certain it will translate into any recognizable difference for the recording. I simply ask you to take my word for it, that the game controls so much more smoothly and responsively than it ever has. And it sincerely improves the experience to a degree I can hardly overstate. I'm not sure whether it was an adjustment made to the actual control, like the animation timing, whether it's an optimization to the netcode. I have no idea. That's pure speculation. Whatever it is, made an irradiated world of difference, however. Alright, let's see if I can actually close without getting sniped. Alright. Yeah, reload. I have noticed as well that some of the anomalies also now have a certain visual distortion glitch that will come up occasionally. Did I make that? Made it through the window. Didn't connect with anyone, though. Hi there. Nope, 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 nope. Oh! Oh! Alright. Spasibo, comrade! For the cover. There we are! There's the kill streak I wanted. I am loving the Valmet. This is my new... What was that? Hi. This is my new assault rifle of choice. However, I am not doing it all the justice I probably should. Alright, there we go. I am definitely going to be that guy, and I am going to trap! Ah! I was going to trap the door. Alright. Again, I got greedy. I should have kept up my situational awareness. This was my own mistake. I will own it. Alright, so let's see. God, it's just so much smoother. I am so relieved at this difference. Ah! I think he moved. Alright. And as for the anomalies, I've already commented on this previously, I know that. However, I think it warrants repeating. The randomly appearing anomalies in maps, I'm a fan of insofar as... melee! Melee! I'm not sure whether I damaged him at all with the melee. I kinda wanted to just reflexively crack him in the skull. I'm not sure whether it worked. Anyway, I just think they're overused. They appear too frequently and often in rather predictable places, I've come to find. It's almost always in particularly inconvenient places, in the midst of doorways, in choke points, and I understand it does dynamically affect the flow of combat mid-match, as corridors one would otherwise take for granted as available are at random closed off when anomalies appear. And the other thing I'm not at all fond about with them is that the artifacts in the middle of them just kind of hover there, and gravimetric phenomena notwithstanding, it's a little... what's the word? Unimmersive. It just seems as though it's a very obvious game mechanic hovering in the midst of the air, rather than something invoking the sort of awe and mystery of the artifacts and anomalies of the zone as they ought. However, either way, I think if they were simply dialed down a little... Whoa, hi. Can I make it up there? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That feel when! I'm sorry! Sorry! If you can't tell what just happened, I saw an enemy, I threw a grenade, ally killed said enemy, and was killed with said grenade. That feel when it's already left your hand and you realize your mistake a second too late. Alright. Let's see here. Again, with the seeing a second too late. Some of the new items from the recent updates are not firearms or armor. I mean, there are, however, along with them, are now new deployable and consumable items, amongst them mines and claymores. And I just found one the very hard way. Alright, no one seems to be coming from... Whoop! Nope, I see you. Where'd you go? Gotcha! I love the Valmet. This thing is awesome. Alright. And, amusingly enough, the Valmet is actually a platform I am incredibly unfamiliar with. I kind of pride myself on an above-average knowledge of firearms, and yet the Valmet... Whoa! Hi! Valmet is not a platform I have any working knowledge of. Oh no, no, I'm in an anomaly! I realized it way too late. I seem to do that a lot in this episode. Realize things a little late. Such is the nature of commentary and combat all at once. The split in the tension. I know, it's a cop-out. I get that. However, I'll take advantage of it when I can. I see you. Nope, nope, ow! Nice shot. And with an S.T.A.L.K.E.R 94, that was kind of impressive, because I've noticed with that particular rifle that it lacks a certain amount of stopping power, and so actually placing consecutive shots on target with it is a little challenging. So to peg me so quickly, that was well done. Hey buddy, catch. Boom. Oh! Alright. Hipfire. When I was in World War II, they called me Hipfire! No, I know, that's not the song. I don't care. Let's see. Alright. Let's press on. Hi there. Found you! Alright, reload, reload, reload. Cautiously, quickly. Let's do this. Reload. Reloading! Now, whoop. Ho ho! Ho ho ho! Hi there. Ah! Ah! I let the recoil get away from me. I could have actually slunk underneath there and let him think I, like, escaped and then caught him off guard. Oh well. Hindsight is always sharper than the clear and present moment. Okay. Now. This game, it continues to impress me with its visual gorgeousness. Alright, let's creep along through here. And I'm constantly finding new little nooks and crannies in the maps, which I've yet to explore. As recent updates, I'm not certain whether this most recent one did so or not, however, several of them have revised certain elements of maps, adding foliage to certain places, especially where it seems most inconvenient for snipers, especially where it seems that snipers on some maps were camping the spawns of each side, which is nice, however, when I play sniper, a little frustrating. Sup? Whoa, 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 whoa! Why with the lag? Why with the teleporty lag? No, 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 get away, get away! Alright, anyway. And in some cases, entire corridors have seen some fairly substantial revision. Hi there, I saw you. Where'd you go? There you are. Ha-ha! Alright. Now I'm gonna take a moment, and I'm gonna be that guy. Nope. Why does that guy seem to, like, lag around? Oh well. Probably a connection issue! As I've now noticed, I connect with a ping somewhere in the range of 100 to 190 fairly regularly. I've played a substantial number of matches recently, as there is also currently an event going on in-game, the Solstice Days event, which I've also noticed has received very successful traffic, as at hours in which previously there were very few people online, there are now much more reliably a substantially higher number of players. In some cases, in the order of several magnitudes more than there were previously. So the event is working, as it is certainly drumming up increased interest in player activity. So, let's see. Another thing, I'm not sure whether I've ever actually expounded upon where the stash maps are concerned with these last end-of-map ransack stashes, is that I received stash maps as an event reward, and so I have 5 stash maps, which means I now know what my potential winnings are from any given match. So if, say, I were playing at a higher tier, and a Val were to appear amongst the possible options with enough stash maps, I could ensure that I get that thing by actually clicking on one, hoping I get it, and then if I don't, I can continue to use stash maps to ransack all of the options until I've, exhumed them all, and I have all of the potential rewards for that round. And so I kind of like, now that I've really had some time with it, this new ransack system, as it gives one much more control over the use of stash maps in particular, as well as just kind of a knowledge of whether or not one needs to hoard them or collect them, etc. It's just, I like it. I've really started to appreciate this system. Yes! I got the green rough gloves! Alright, I've also noticed recently, it could very easily just end up my luck is more fortuitous lately. However, it seems as though I'm actually receiving more of these higher quality items at the ends of rounds than I used to. I have no idea whether any of the numbers were in the generator affected or tweaked or revised, and whether it's simply just my fortune or not. Either way, I've enjoyed some more fortuitous rewards. Alright, I made a significant amount of silver from that round. And I also like there at the end now, there's that actually in-map render of oneself and one's comrades at the end. So, I think that covers this particular episode. I've actually, as I'll mention in the next episode, recorded that next episode, so I'm kind of doing some strange things with the timing and recording of certain things. However, I'm also planning in the very near future to record another episode to, as I have with this one, not test the Valmet, which I now very, very much approve of, test my recently acquired Ch.7, essentially an M14 within Survarium, which is one of my favorite weapons platforms of all time, and which I have yet to test at all whatsoever. So I'll reserve that for a sort of test recording of the Ch.7 in the near future. So stick around for that here at Last Level Press. I'm Mr. Black here at Last Level Press, and as always, wish you all good gaming and Godspeed. Oh, Jesus! Hi!